So, here we are. In this episode, I will give you a buyer's guide for the magnificent 7 gravel bike tires you should definitely go ahead and buy in 2024. So hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. Before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe because it's gonna help in growing the channel, and of course if you are already a subscriber, I say thank you. So let's talk about these magnificent 7 gravel bike tires that I truly believe you should go ahead and buy if you are in the market for the new gravel tires for your bike. So we can kick off immediately with the Schwalbe, a famous German brand. So in this case, a Schwalbe G-One R gravel tire, which has a retail price of 75 euros. And in this instance, I am looking at the 40mm wide tire. By the way, all these tires that I'm going to be talking about here are approximately 40mm wide, and also all of them are tubeless tires. So these are some kind of prerequisites, in my opinion, for any gravel bike tire. Minimum width 40mm, and also it should be tubeless ready. So as I was saying, Schwalbe G-One R tire with the retail price of approximately 75 euros, US dollars, British pounds, and this tire is definitely something you need to consider. It is a proper race gravel tire from Schwalbe, and some of the highlights of this tire include that it has this kind of classical tanned or transparent sidewall, as they call it. It is a tubeless ready tire, 480 grams per tire. Maximum pressures you can run here are 65 psi or 4.5 bar. And also I have to mention that the maximum load per tire you can apply is 100 kilograms. Moving on, another Schwalbe tire, in my opinion, that you need to shortlist is a bit more racier version. So this is like the Schwalbe G-One RS tire. Same retail price, 75 euros, and I'm again looking at the tubeless version, which is 40mm wide, but immediately you see here that the tread pattern is almost slick in the middle of this tire. So this is a proper kind of racing fast gravel tire. So if you are in this kind of the gravel racing bunch, then definitely you should consider this Schwalbe G-One RS tire, a proper race-oriented, semi-slick gravel tire. With this one, of course, it will have a certain level of puncture protection, and they are even mentioning here a bit more higher puncture protection, but definitely compared with the Schwalbe G-One R, I'm not expecting that this RS version is going to be much more, puncture protection. This is all about being supple and being, smooth and fast ride. So with this tire, again, it is a tubeless ready tire, 445 grams. Again, maximum tire pressures you can run 65 psi, and the maximum load you can apply per tire is 100 kilograms. So definitely, Schwalbe G-One RS if you are into gravel racing. Moving on, the third tire you definitely need to shortlist is the Panaracer. A Panaracer GravelKing SK Plus tubeless ready tire. You can choose it in classical totally black version or this black and brown version, which just looks beautiful. Again, I'm looking at the 40mm tires wide, and in this instance the retail price is approximately 65,000 British pounds, US dollars, euros. And some of the highlights of this Panaracer tire include that this tire is going to be 120 TPI, so kind of a supple tire with their double layer casing, as they call it, and puncture protection. It is of course tubeless ready, and they are proudly saying here that these tires are made in Japan. When you look at the kind of the tire tread on this Panaracer, it's not a very aggressive tire tread, so again one of those faster rolling gravel tires you should definitely shortlist. Moving on, we gotta speak about the big Continental, the big boss Continental, and in this instance, in my opinion, you should consider the Continental Terra trail tire, which are classical, gravel tires, and I'm specifically looking at the Continental Terra Trail protection tires, the ones which come with their, which are tubeless ready and come with their black chili compound, which gives you a bit more, reinforced casing, a bit more puncture protection. So specifically, if you look at the Terra Trail tire, 40 millimeters wide, it is 455 grams. The pressures you can run are between 44 and 73 psi. It is a supple tire, 180 TPI in 3 plies, and you can choose between all black tire or the 10-volt and combination black and 10-volt tire. Both of them have a retail price of approximately 66 British pounds, US dollars, euros. So definitely, not a cheaper tire, but Continental is always on the more expensive side of the tires. But again, this Continental Terra Trail tire with the black chili compound, absolutely top-notch tire, and I can highly recommend you to shortlist this tire. Moving on, let's talk about the Vittoria tires. In this instance, I believe you have to consider the Vittoria Terreno Dry gravel tire with the retail price of approximately 55 euros. Again, I'm looking at the 40 millimeter wide tire from Vittoria. This one comes in only one kind of paint scheme, which is black, totally black tire. And with this tire, I have to mention that this is with the famous graphene-infused compound that Vittoria usually uses on a lot of their tires. And for example, if you are choosing the 40 millimeter wide tire, the weight of this tire is 515 grams. If you would like to save yourself a bit of weight on the tire, maybe you want to go with 37 millimeter wide tire, which can then be 470 grams. So definitely one of those excellent gravel tires from Vittoria with the retail price of 55 euros. Now, another tire you definitely need to consider is the WTB Riddler 700 tire, a retail price of approximately 66 US dollars, and in this instance you have on offer tires which are 37 millimeters wide or 45 millimeters wide. I mean, in this instance I would gladly go with the 45 millimeter wide tires, and you can also choose here, do you want the tires which are 60 TPI or even more supple tires which are, for example, 120 TPI. So if you jump to the tire which is 37 millimeters wide with 120 TPI treads, then the price jumps to about 77 US dollars, but definitely you'll have a much suppler tire. And with this tire you see how the tread is a bit more aggressive, so definitely it's going to be a very good traction, and also you will have a good puncture protection with this tire. I have to mention here that in the middle there is a bit of this kind of semi-slick tread, but I still consider it's a good tread to have. It's not one of those super fast rolling gravel tires, but with this one you also get a good puncture protection. Some of the weights of this tire, for example, if you are choosing a 37 millimeter wide tire with the 60 TPI tread, you are talking about 465 grams. But if you move to a bit more suppler version with 120 TPI tread, then immediately with this tubeless tire you are jumping to 481 grams, and maximum pressures you can run are between 30 and 55 psi. I mean, these are the recommended pressures to run on this tire. So all in, again, a superb offering from WTB, their WTB Riddler tire, for approximately something about 60 to 77 US dollars. And finally, I had to mention one tire from Specialized. This is their Specialized Tracer Pro tubeless ready tire, which retails for approximately 45 British pounds US dollars. I'm specifically looking at this version, which is 42 millimeters wide. You can only get it in one color, which is this classical black color. And with this tire, some of the highlights include that this is a 60 TPI tire, 60 treads per inch, tubeless ready tire, and the approximate weight, if you are choosing a 42 millimeter tire, is 525 grams, and recommended pressures you should run here are between 35 and 65 psi. So all in, I gave you 7, magnificent 7 gravel bike tires that you should definitely go ahead and buy in 2024. So starting with two versions from Schwalbe, Schwalbe G-One R, and then you have this race version, which is the Schwalbe G-One RS. Moving on to the stunning tire from Panaracer, which is the GravelKing SK Plus tubeless tire. And then from Big Continental, you should definitely consider Continental Terra Trail tire with their black chili compound. From Vittoria Terreno Dry gravel tire. From WTB, their WTB Riddler tire. And ultimately the specialized Tracer Pro 2 Bliss tire. So this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!